This video is going to go over the process of how to take the Software Secure Practice Test. As part of the first week of your respective course, you will go through the Software Secure Practice Test to become familiar with the system called RP Now, which is where you will be taking your final exam in a proctored environment. So we're going to go through the underlying process of how to get this Software Secure Practice Test. This is also a requirement for your first week to earn 10 points on the LP1 Math Resource Center assignment. So without further ado, I'm going to go through the underlying process. This is an example of a MA3000 course. The process is going to be very similar regardless of which class you're enrolled in. So what you're going to want to do, go underneath announcements, and you're going to see inside your announcements an announcement named Software Secure Practice Test. So this is going to go through the steps that are required inside this announcement. So this should be inside your class portal from day one of when that class opens up to you. So the very first thing you're going to want to do is click on this link, this national.remoteproctor.com. So you'll click on that first. It's going to prompt you to do a download of software. So you're going to click this download software. Go ahead and save the file. I'm using Firefox. Google Chrome is another browser that I recommend using as well. But one of the two browsers is what you want to end up using for this. Internet Explorer, Safari as well does not work well with RP Now. It's one of those two browsers that you're going to want to use. So it'll take a minute or two depending on your bandwidth and the speed that you have associated with your internet service provider. Inside of Firefox, I'm going to click that, and they should prompt you for the file that you just downloaded. If you click it, it should take a second or two here to load. You'll get your license agreement. You'll click I agree. Next thing that's going to pop up is the authentication into PSI, which is the RP Now system. It's going to prompt you to ask if your microphone is working. Obviously, right now I'm talking, so it is. You'll click OK. Screen's going to look something very similar to this. Underneath here, these are going to be your options that you're going to want to select. So the first thing is, depending on which class you're in, I'm going to do this for MA3000. The process will work the same in MA3010, et cetera, for that. And the one that you're going to pick is Software Secure Practice Test. Now, when you go to take the final exam, inside of week 11, you're going to select Final Exam V1. So this process is going to be the exact same regardless whether you're taking the final exam or Software Secure Practice Test. So for this example, I'm going to select Software Secure Practice Test. You're going to type in your corresponding name. My name is Michael Weeman. There is my email address, and I'm going to type in a fake phone number here because I don't want everybody contacting me. So I will click next. It'll ask me, there's some things that you have to do, and we'll go through that. Hopefully it'll allow me to record all this. This is the policy. Please read over that. It's what is going to be expected during the final exam. Click next on it. Everything looks good there. You've passed one monitor. You cannot have multiple monitors while this is going on, as well as you can't have Skype going, etc. So I'm going to go ahead and click next. Next thing it's going to do, it's going to ask for taking a picture of your corresponding ID. So I'm going to hold up my ID with everything blanked out of it. You're going to go ahead, line it up nicely here, trying to get a picture of it. I'll do something similar to this with that ugly mug shot. What you'll end up doing at this point, you're going to click Take ID Photo. You'll want to click this button right here, says this ID is clear, legible, etc. But you'll be holding up your ID with all the information on it. You'll click Confirm ID Photo. Next thing it's going to prompt you to do is start a room scan. So you're going to go around your corresponding room, do a 360 of it. I'm not going to do all mine at this point, but it's going to ask for that. So you're going to want to click start the room scan, and then it'll prompt you to start your corresponding room scan. So you'll go around, do a complete 360 of it. Say stop room scan. It'll prompt you back with it. Make sure you click that button as soon as this gets done here. And then you'll want to confirm room desk scan. Next thing it's going to ask you to take a photo of your face. You'll click take user photo. We go 3, 2, 1, takes the photo. Everything's hunky-dory there. Click confirm user photo. At this point, once this comes up, the browser is going to come open. And if it gives you this warning message, just click got it. It's nothing important there. So the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to go into your respective class. For my example, it's going to be the MA 3000 test that I've got set up, but it's going to be whatever class you're currently enrolled in, MA 3000, MA 3010, whatever course that you're enrolled in, you're going to want to go to the class portal. The next step that you're going to want to find, you're going to scroll down and you're going to want to find the My Stats Lab link. You're going to click that. Once this comes up, you may need to click My Stats Lab again, so it shows you all the options. And what you're going to want to scroll down to do is go into, you're going to want to find the link for quizzes and tests. So you're going to come down here to quizzes and tests. You're going to click that. And again, this assumes that you have done the setup for My Stat Lab, because this particular assessment, as well as your final exam for this course, occurs inside of My Stat Lab. So you will need to do that setup to My Stat Lab, and that's covered in another video inside of the class portal. But this is assuming you've set up My Stat Lab first. That has to be done first before you can do that. So the next thing you're going to want to do, you're going to click Software Secure Practice Test. At this point, notice it's prompting you for the password. It's not the case where you're going to go and ask the instructor, say, hey, Mr. Weeman, or whoever your instructor is, you're not asking for the password. If you've done this correctly, you're going to click up here at the top where it says Insert Exam Password. It's going to insert the password. You're going to click Submit. And now it's ready to start this particular Software Secure Practice Test. You're going to click Start Test. And this particular assessment is going to have 5 questions on it. The first one, I want to go through the 5 questions that you're going to be asked. Again, this is just your acknowledgement, not stating that you agree with the statements here, but this is just to put an understanding between you and the instructor. But the first question is, I acknowledge that My Stat Lab is a required component of the class. This is where you're going to do all the components with the exception of your discussion forums. All you'll do is you'll click A to answer that question, click Next. You'll notice RP Now is required. You must ensure that you have all of the correct hardware. Just as an FYI, you cannot use a Chromebook. You cannot use a iPhone, iPad, Samsung tablet. It has to be a Windows PC or a Mac PC to utilize RP Now. So if you're having issues getting the software loaded, odds are you do not have the correct operating system to run that. So if that's an issue for you, you need to figure out a plan B to get that set up. But again, this is what that second question is asking you to acknowledge. Third one is you have 4 hours to complete your assessment in MA 3000 or 3010. It opens 12 a.m. The Monday of week 11. It closes at 11:59 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So you don't want to wait until late Sunday night. So let's say hypothetically it's 10 o'clock Mountain Time and you're just starting the final exam. You're only going to get 2 hours to complete that respective assessment. So do not wait until Sunday night to take it. You have the option to Sunday night, but if you want the full 4 hours to take the assessment, You have to have started that assessment by 8 o'clock Mountain Time to get the full 4 hours. So that's what that question is acknowledging. Next guy. Closed book, closed notes on the assessment. You will be able to use the Excel templates. As you progress through the course, you will see the utilization of Excel templates that help with the calculations. That is going to be an important part, but you will have an Excel template as part of the final exam. You can have that open. There is no issue associated with that. But if you choose to use the scientific calculator, it cannot be your smart device. Can't be your iPhone or your Android. If you want to use a scientific calculator, it has to be Wi-Fi disabled. In other words, it cannot connect to the internet, so that throws out any Android or smart device that's out there. Typical TI calculator, that type of thing. You'll click to acknowledge that statement. And then the fifth question that's out there, final exam can only be taken once. Once you start it, you got to complete it in that 4 hours. If there's a technical reason that you got locked out, that is a dialogue between you and the instructor. Again, don't wait until Saturday, Sunday to take the assessment. I strongly encourage all students to take that assessment by Friday when it comes to the final exam. So this is why we're doing this ahead of time, to make sure everybody is on the same page. So you'll click accept there. You'll click the submit quiz. It'll prompt you back with the corresponding feedback. The 5 out of 5 will be recorded directly to the D2L or your course portal gradebook once that occurs. So all you need to do at this point is close. You'll click you want to exit. And that is all there is to it. It may prompt you to open up another browser, but you can ignore it. But that's how you do the software secure practice. Please contact your instructor if you have any additional questions or concerns with it. Thanks.